Good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Lumberjack Logic. And I'm going to tell you, I am flipping jacked out of my mind about this. I just went through and read all of this. I read some of it twice. I am flipping pumped. So as this stream builds, okay, this this could be this. Somebody asked me on the chat earlier, is this about the Carrie Lake case? Yeah, I'll give you some good news on Carrie Lake too. She has been granted an expedited appeal, but this is bigger than the Carrie Lake case. It is. This is bigger. But Carrie Lake has been granted an expedited appeal. So it moved it up from like March to February 1st. They're so serious, right? You know, as Katie Hobbs destroys Arizona. But that's not what this is about. This is even bigger. So I need you to do me a favor. Do smash the like. Do chat it in with where you're from. And while we're doing that, and I've got, just wait, I've got just a couple warm-up videos here. We'll just let some things play as we build this stream. There's only 55 people on right now, so let's just watch Adam Schiff losing his mind first, all right?
Last time Republicans were in charge of the House, Kevin McCarthy pushed to form another bogus select committee, that one on Benghazi. He did so, as he admitted, to tear down Hillary Clinton's numbers, a patently political exercise. Now McCarthy is at it again, pushed into forming this bogus subcommittee by the QAnon members of his own caucus. He sacrificed a lot in his bid for Speaker. That was his choice. But now the American people are going to pay the price in the form of a body blow to our national security.
He's just so bitter. He got removed from his committees. He's so bitter. Hey, I saw Chocolate Superman on. Look at that. There he is. Guys, you need to subscribe to this Chocolate Superman dude. He's good. I'm telling you, he is good. I watch him on YouTube, man. He is good. Okay. So, and then while we're still warming up, we've only got 210 on. Smash that like, keep chatting it up, get the chat rate up because I'm so excited about this. Anyways, here we'll watch a piece of Jen Psaki losing her mind while we're waiting for everybody else to join us.
Were discovered on November 2nd. This didn't become public until my colleagues at CBS News reported this on Monday. That's more than 2 months later. Why was the public not informed while the White House prepared a PR response for 2 months?
Again, this was under review. This is under review by the Department of Justice. I'm not going to go beyond what the president shared yesterday. I'm not going to go beyond what my colleagues at the White House Counsel shared with all of you as well.
Hey, did you guys hear his mumbled talking? It's because he's wearing a mask, okay? This is one of the masked dudes, and even they're asking these questions now. Oh man, this is beautiful. Yeah, this is really coming out hard against Joe, okay? But now I'm almost there, folks. We're still only at 309 people, so keep chatting it up, keep smashing that like. But I want to share what may actually. This might even be bigger than what's really big that I want to share with you. But I'm going to share a quick video here. And we may be about to witness the great revival in America. By the way, did you know that the dam is breaking? And right now, 30% of Democrats aren't trusting the government's information on the subject of the day. And here, let's watch this on this subject. Okay, here we go. But this is great because this is bringing out revival.
Football gave me everything, and I think even through the midst of...
Oh, this guy's quiet. Turn up your volume. Turn up your volume here. Listen to this guy. This is on that Damar Hamlin. It's a little older clip, but I want to add something on this, and then we're going to get into the big news.
Football gave me everything, and I think even through the midst of absolute tragedy last night, I think you saw some of the beauty of football as well, that it's brought us all here together. This is a little bit different. I've heard it all day, like thoughts and prayers, and you just heard Scherf and Jonathan Allen say like all we can do is pray for him, and I've heard the Buffalo Bills organization say that we believe in prayer. And maybe this is not the right thing to do, but it's just on my heart that I want to pray for.
It is.
Damar Hamlin right now. I'm going to do it out loud. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to bow my head, and I'm just going to pray for him. God, we come to you in these moments that we don't understand, that are hard. because we believe that your God and coming to you and praying to you has impact. We're sad, we're angry, and we want answers, but some things are unanswerable. We just want to pray, truly come to you and pray for strength for Damar, for healing for Damar, for comfort for Damar, to be with his family, to give them peace. If we didn't believe that prayer didn't work, we wouldn't ask this of you, God. I believe in prayer. We believe in prayer. We lift up Damar Hamlin's name in your name. Amen.
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 It's beautiful.
Respectfully.
We will continue to cover this story. We'll continue to bring you all the updates that we have. And as usual, we'll see you tomorrow on NFL Live. I'll just reiterate how secondary football is in all of this. We are thinking and praying, as you've seen here, for Damar Hamlin and his family, and truly hoping for some better news.
20 years ago, that wouldn't have been so crazy. But right now, seeing that is crazy. People are coming back to the Lord because people are seeing things. They are seeing things. And now we're going to get into the news because things are about to, folks, get a whole lot better. And I know you guys have been waiting for this a long time. I'm not talking about my stream. I'm talking about truth being revealed on a national front. People waking up in an absolutely real and major way. People coming back to the Lord. All of this is taking place. And we are now going to see such massive exposure, people, in a way, with legal ramifications. And here, I'm going to share this video, this last video. This will blow your ever-loving Criken mind. And you'll see why I share this video before I bring up this news, because watch this. This is crazy. I did not know this.
And I did this during my time at Russiagate. When you have a Department of Justice that you cannot rely on to fulfill a congressional subpoena and force people who violate it, Congress actually has this thing called inherent contempt of Congress powers, which means the Speaker of the House can send the Sergeant at Arms out and go and arrest anyone that defies a congressional subpoena.
Wow.
Now, if you want to see whether...
Did you guys just catch that? I'm rewinding. This video is so awesome. But okay, you'll see what this relates to as I get into this big jaw-dropping news. Okay, but again, Congress has this power. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about this. Okay, I'm rewinding it. You guys have got to catch this. Make sure you're paying attention right now. Eyes on the screen.
And I did this during my time at Russiagate. When you have a Department of Justice that you cannot rely on to fulfill a congressional subpoena and force people who violate it, Congress actually has this thing called inherent contempt of Congress powers, which means the Speaker of the House can send the Sergeant at Arms out and go and arrest anyone that defies a congressional subpoena.
Wow.
Now, if you want to see whether these Republicans actually have backbone, that's the law.
No, hold on, slow down.
They can do
slow
this.
down. So we got 45 seconds. I've never heard that before. So you're trying to tell me Kevin McCarthy, let's say Fauci defies a subpoena.
Yeah. He can be arrested by the Sergeant at Arms at the direction of Kevin McCarthy and held in detention.
Where?
Well, there are jail cells at the bottom of the Capitol building. People don't know that, but they're there.
You're blowing my mind, Cash. All right, more with Cash Patel after the break. You got my mind thinking here. People say they're never get arrested. We'll see. I did not know that.
Oh, gosh. Bring it. I hope Congress has the balls. Oh, my gosh. Okay, does this excite you guys yet? Okay, I'm like building this up. Okay, I'm just trying to build this up. Smash that like, man. This is awesome stuff. Okay, and now I'm going to bring you into some stunning developments on why we might see this all play out. Right, Criken? Now. All right. So I've been following this Missouri versus Biden case, if you guys didn't know. Okay. So, and just to give you the background on this. So, this Missouri and some other states, they've all sued the federal government, right, for censorship. But people, you don't even understand just how bad it is. You just don't, because there's a filing that is gonna take just a little while. Okay, you guys got to hang with me through this one because you're gonna go like, oh, come on, this is all legalese and it's taking a little while. Yeah, but don't worry, it gets so awesome. It's worth every single second, people. You are going to absolutely love this and what is being exposed right now in court because of Missouri versus Biden. Okay, so here we go. It feels like just yesterday we were breaking down some revelations from the discovery in the Missouri versus Biden case. It's because we were. However, there were a few filings last night that we need to go through. Highlights, there are plenty. But the most amazing one to me was how Biden's own censorship policies ended up sweeping the president's Instagram into the censorship net. Man, I'm telling you, this guy at the White House was going nuts, cussing at him and everything. And it ended up causing Biden's Instagram to be censored. This is nuts. Okay. All right. Now, every single point of this article is important. Please read them all. We will not. We're going to skim ahead a little bit through all of this. Okay. And again, smash that like, chat it up with where you're from. And if you want to follow along, this is on Uncover DC, or you can follow along on the screen. Okay. But you guys light it up in the chat. Have some fun tonight because this is going to be some of the best news you've heard in a long time. In addition, we've just learned that, Kevin McCarthy, if he's got the balls, can actually go do something about all this stuff. All right. So I was so jacked when I got that after reading this. Okay. Now, we previously discussed the deposition or lack thereof, Jen Psaki. So to give you a little highlight here, Jen Psaki, they've been trying to depose her. And then, oh no, Peppermint Patty can't do it because it's such a burden on her and she has things to do. The judge is not having it. And the reason this case is actually exciting to me, this is cataclysmic for the Democrat Party, for all the censorship and everything that's been going on. People, this is dealing with VAERS. It's dealing with everything, this case, okay? It is nuts how deep this is, how deep it goes, and what we are discovering in this. Okay, so the defendants filed this today, and I'm going to run through their filing because they're just pompous, all right? But you need to hear it, okay? The Fifth Circuit stayed the deposition of Jennifer R. Psaki, the former White House press secretary, pending the pursuit of less intrusive alternatives to a deposition and further order of the district court. Okay. None of what they're saying here is accurate, even though they accurately portray what the Fifth Circuit said. They are leaving out a few key statements from the Fifth about the case to shift the narrative their way. The judge doesn't deal well with these tactics, and we've seen this in this case. This judge, he doesn't put up with this crap, okay? This is like a different breed of judge, all right? Any additional expedited discovery in lieu of Ms. Psaki's deposition must therefore be designed to serve as a substitute for the information that plaintiffs would have sought in a deposition of Ms. Psaki. But as the Fifth Circuit also explained, there is unlikely to be much, if any, information that plaintiffs need in this area. Not true. Okay, and it's going to get better. Just you got to kind of go with the build here, though. The government states that the judge should decline to extend the expedited discovery period. If he doesn't, it should order them to amend their previous responses to questions they have already been asked. One may wonder what could change. Well, they consult with her. The court should therefore decline to extend the expedited discovery period for further discovery into Ms. Psaki's statements, such discovery is unnecessary to resolve plaintiff's preliminary injunction motion. The government is lying through their teeth here, and you're going to see this all in just a little bit. I am only adding this to show you how malicious they truly are. They cite here the plaintiff's aging preliminary injunction motion. It's aging, get this, it's aging because the government delayed, obfuscated, refused, stamped their feet, screamed, appealed, and threw tantrums the entire time. Okay? That's why this has been, the aging, okay? But this, yeah, I'm telling you, this gets so good. I gotta keep on track here. Smash that Kraken like. And oh, hey, I gotta mention my sponsor. Okay, because it's important. Actually, YouTube demonetizes all my lives, so I got to do this. I got to mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack, save you up to 66%. I absolutely love the products. The Giza sheets are my favorite. I got the mattress topper for my son and daughter-in-law. They absolutely love it. My daughter Abby's got the mattress topper on her bed, absolutely loves it. It's the best sleep stuff available, man. It's just awesome. Anyways, and you get to support Mike Lindell, who's funding Carrie Lake's lawsuit, and his attorney Mike Olson is down there, and so on. I could go on about that, but that's the bottom line. So, but back to this. Okay, plaintiffs purportedly need from Ms. Psaki and therefore unauthorized by this court's January 6th order. I just love how this date keeps coming back up. It would only further delay the close of expedited discovery and resolution of plaintiff's aging preliminary injunction. Of course, defendants don't believe discovery of Psaki is necessary at all, let alone in an expedited manner. They use the Fifth Circuit decision and make sure the judge knows what it said. But again, the record was incorrectly reviewed in the decision, okay? A party seeking expedited discovery must narrowly tailor their request in scope to the necessary information they seek. They did that, okay? And we'll see that in a little bit. In particular, the Fifth Circuit rejected the plaintiff's argument that deposition is required in order to, among other things, illuminate the meaning of Ms. Psaki's public statements, pointing out that much of this desired illumination already is apparent from the record. Okay. Now I'm going to skip ahead. So they just go on. This is the government and what they're saying. And they're just like, oh no. Also, as anyone who has ever received discovery or exculpatory under Brady from the government will tell you, they often overwhelm you with BS just as a time suck. And you see this even in how they answer questions in front of Congress. They just overwhelm with BS. They don't ever answer the actual question. They just blather on. Okay. They filibuster basically. Well, they do that the same in these discoveries. Okay. So the government also argues that she was merely commenting on public policy. This is the big thing. So what you need to understand is they're going after Psaki's statements. And you guys saw them at the pressers where she's like, oh, yes, we're working with these social media companies to censor everybody, right? And they're saying, okay, the government argues here that she was merely commenting on public policy and that she shouldn't be required to disclose anything further. Never mind that the policy was blatantly unconstitutional. That doesn't matter. They say if we open up this can of worms, no one is safe. This is unbelievable, okay? So they're saying basically that if we open up this can of worms, then no one in the government is safe. They're all going to be deposed. Praise God, it's about time. Okay. Further, the Fifth Circuit underscored a press secretary's generalized public statements do not warrant discovery probing into what the press secretary meant or knows. Okay. Observing that the Fifth Circuit recently rejected subjecting certain high-ranking state government officials to deposition because of generalized public statements about a matter that later became the subject of litigation. Just wait, though. It gets better because they actually did have to release some things, but only because they didn't want to. Anyways, you'll see as we go along here. They state the plaintiffs can't justify getting any more information about her statements, even by other means. But remember, when we first started this, they admitted that they could consult with her for answers if necessary. So it's all just legal wrangling, all right? The problem with the assertion that they are exploiting the discovery process is that plaintiffs needed to amend their complaint to add more defendants after the first bulk of discovery came. There were so many officials that the government didn't disclose that were incidentally discovered to be pressuring and threatening social media companies that they needed to redraft their complaint to add people. Oh, and just wait till you see some of the statements from these government hacks that are in this. It's just nuts. Okay, plaintiffs do not need and cannot justify more discovery at the preliminary injunction stage, including written discovery, preferably in lieu of a deposition. So that the defense for the government is now saying, well, they can't even grant these people. We can't even grant these people any more discovery in written form, much less depositions. I mean, they don't need it. Related to Ms. Psaki's public statements, discovery has already proceeded for 6 months, and as the Fifth Circuit noted, the discovery has been extensive, even though expedited discovery should be narrowly tailored. Oh man, it was so great when she got deposed. So no, this isn't exploiting anything. It's expanded discovery because they were engaged in outright law-breaking people. So here's what you need to understand, okay, to just break this down to brass tacks. They're saying that they're exploiting the discovery process. No, what happens is during the discovery process, they find out that the government has more lawbreakers involved and more nefarious doings going on. So then they need to do an expedited discovery to get even more of the information. This is wild. Okay. The government has responded numerous times that no one exists that knows anything about what Psaki said, even though in her statement she told the world those people exist. Do you get this? So they're saying that these people, that no one exists that knows anything about what Psaki's saying, even though Psaki already said that these people exist. The defendants have refused to do what they are saying here, so it's amazing that they are saying this. It's nuts. They're lying, and the judge will see right through this, and this judge has been amazing, okay? So, yeah, this is so deep, all right? If any additional discovery is ordered, it should be limited to amend interrogatory responses reflecting information obtained from Ms. Psaki. Even if further discovery were warranted at this stage, this is the government again, the Fifth Circuit recognized that there is a clear alternative to Ms. Psaki's deposition both parties actually had accepted. The defendants amend their interrogatory responses after consulting with Psaki. Thus, if the court concludes that any further discovery concerning Ms. Psaki's statements is necessary, then in lieu of her deposition, this court should simply direct defendants to amend their written responses to interrogatories plaintiffs previously served on the White House Office of Press Secretary to include information obtained directly from Ms. Psaki. Okay? This statement they make is the equivalent of Ty Clevenger sending FOIA to the FBI only to be told nothing exists, keep pushing, and on the 70th try to find out that there were literally thousands of pages of responsive documents. They have narrowly tailored their search, and they admit it. Okay? So again, what they're doing here is the government is using these bogus things where they're like, hey, no, we've already responded to all that, even though they haven't, because they're trying to define it so narrow that they can get away with, not providing what they actually need to apply. Okay, and listen to this. Tracy Beans, this is who I'm reading from right now, has been following this case since its inception, and she has done such a great job of reporting on it. But listen to what she says. Sorry, Brian, this isn't happening. I would be stunned if it did, especially given what we are about to embark on reading together now. Attached as an exhibit are 4 pages of deposition Vivek Murthy's assistant. The entire transcript isn't included because the government loves to be transparent. It's 4 pages where Eric Waldo pretends he doesn't remember attending meetings and stutters when questioned about unlawful censorship he and his boss advanced on the American people, his boss being Jen Psaki. Okay? For the reasons stated here in this court, should close the expedited discovery period, right? So that's what they want to have happen. But defendants, now this is where it gets so good. Defendants have stonewalled requests, tried to run out the clock, recall what I said about time earlier, by not responding properly to the court-ordered interrogatory and using Psaki's former press secretary status to block her deposition. So here we go into the introduction. I'm going to just kind of blow this up so you can follow right around, because this is where it gets freaking awesome. On July 12, 2022, this court ordered discovery into the identity of federal officials, including White House officials, who communicate with social media platforms about disinformation censorship, including the nature and content of those communications. For 6 months, plaintiffs have repeatedly sought and demanded this information from defendants, i.e. the identity of White House officials who are or have engaged in pressuring and colluding with social media platforms to censor free speech, and the nature and content of their communications. One critical source of this information is former White House Press Secretary Jennifer Psaki, who made public statements admitting that she knows which White House officials engage with social media platforms about censorship and that she knows what their asks are. The government, however, has stonewalled these requests and tried to run out the clock on plaintiffs, first by providing vague, evasive written responses to plaintiffs' interrogatories, and second, by hiding behind Psaki's high-level status to block her deposition, while refusing to disclose any lower-level official who has the same information. Do you get it? This is their response, okay, to this is the plaintiff's response to the defense being the federal government and all these officials. This is their response. They are slamming this, okay? And remember, the judge has been unbelievable in this case. That's the only reason I'm thinking that this goes anywhere, because so often we see that these people are not held to account, okay? Again, smash that like if you would. Keep chatting. I mean, it really helps the stream. This is phenomenal information. And just wait, it's going to get better. I haven't even gotten to the best stuff yet because It all builds to it here as you see what some of these government officials have said. By the way, I'll mention my other sponsor, Revere Coffee Company, reverecoffeecompany.com, promo code Lumberjack, 10% savings, and it's great coffee, man. You support the show, support a great American-run small business. It's beautiful. The government identified, listen to this now. The government identified Flaherty and Slavitt as two of the individuals that Psaki was referring to. However, they only did that because they had already been unearthed in earlier discovery because they were copied on emails. Okay, she did a Twitter space yesterday. Okay, the delay. So do you understand this? Flaherty and Slavitt weren't even in the radar of this case, but because they were on earlier emails, then they became part of the discovery, which now this is where the government, if you go back to what's going on previously, that's where the government is saying, oh, no, this has been going on too long, this discovery and all this. Yes, because they keep finding out more. And wait till you see what they found out. It gets so good. The delay and obfuscation by the government harmed the expedited discovery process because they couldn't follow up, because they couldn't do the follow-up they needed to do. I am not concerned about this. They have tons of actionable discovery. As a result, plaintiffs have been deprived of some of the most relevant, so again, this is from the Missouri versus Biden. So if you're just jumping into the stream, Missouri versus Biden, and this is the attorneys generals and their attorneys responding to the Biden attorneys. Okay. As a result, plaintiffs have been deprived of some of the most relevant, most probative discovery by this court's order of July 12th, i.e. the identities of White House officials who pressure social media platforms to censor American speech and the nature and content of their communications. Because they have thwarted discovery of the identities of these officials, defendants have also prevented plaintiffs from obtaining follow-up discovery regarding those officials, either by written discovery requests or depositions. They're not even honoring written discovery. Indeed, plaintiffs sought the depositions of the only two officials that defendants identified in their interrogatory responses to the White House press secretary, Rob Flaherty and Andy Slavitt. And that resulted in highly probative disclosures from Flaherty last Thursday. But the government delays are vague. So the plaintiffs want a few things. They want for the government to talk to Jen and get the right answers to their questions, to identify other White House officials who have worked with socials to censor, and 3, order those officials to respond to written discovery and subpoena. Oh, and still maintain the same briefing schedule to rule on the temporary injunction. The court should break this government-created logjam. This is beautiful. The government should break this government-created logjam by ordering the government, in lieu of Psaki's deposition, to consult with Psaki, okay, and then on and on, the nature and content of those communications within 14 days, as noted in recent order, Doc 163. Understand the judge has prolonged that schedule several times, not because of plaintiff issues. This is what you need to understand. See, it's a disingenuous argument from the defendant, which is the government here, the Biden government. Okay, it's a disingenuous argument because they are the ones causing the time delays, and then they're saying, well, because there's all these time delays, we've got to wrap this up. So the judge has prolonged the schedule several times, not because plaintiff issues, but because of defendant ones, appeals, delays, and the kicking of feet. Also, I want to state this isn't so surprising to anyone when it happens. As soon as the judge rules in favor of the plaintiffs on the temporary injunction, and he likely will, people, which immediately halts the government censorship program, the government will appeal upwards. So she's just saying, get ready. This will go to the U.S. Supreme Court. I have no doubt in my mind. One of the reasons that the court granted the expedited discovery in the first place was the sheer hubris of the officials engaged in the censorship who brazenly proclaimed they were doing it in press conferences, tweets, meetings, and seminars. You see that this is like they weren't even hiding it anymore because they didn't think it mattered because they thought they were so far above the law. But wait till you see what please smash that like and keep chatting because this is, hey, John Chris says Corn Pop is a badass dude. Corn Pop was probably a good dude. Wait, can you call Corn Pop a dude? I don't know. Anyways, I've slaughtered them all on Twitter from Biden, Pelosi to Hobbs and still haven't been banned. Yeah, no, you won't get banned right now because somehow we're getting much better. Actually, Tracy Beans got welcomed back on Twitter, and you have to understand this is what she reports on, and they hate her. Okay. So the factual and procedural background: defendants have stonewalled to avoid disclosing the White House officials who communicate with social media platforms about censorship. One of the reasons, this reading from the deposition right here, or not the deposition, but the response. One of the reasons the court entered this order was that Psaki publicly admitted that such communications from the White House are occurring by stating, for example, that members of our senior staff are flagging problematic posts for Facebook and presenting asks about social media censorship, and that such engaging regularly in such communications will continue. Do you guys remember this? I remember the press conferences. And then they hired that Nina Jankowicz nut job, right? You know, they were going to have their disinformation board. I'm telling you, these people are brazen right now, but they're going down. Okay. And here, people, would you mind, those of you in the chat, I know some of you have been hanging with us, but would you mind for the new folks if we shared that Kash Patel video again? Because I'd like to share that. I know we've got new people on the stream, and why I'm so excited about this because of what Congress can actually do. Because what you're going to see here as we go on is lower level officials. Oh my word, the things they've said. So we've got all right. So just hang with me for the new people. Let's just watch this video quick. This is what can happen.
I did this during my time at Russiagate. When you have a Department of Justice that you cannot rely on to fulfill a congressional subpoena and force people who violate it, Congress actually has this thing called inherent contempt of Congress powers, which means the Speaker of the House can send the Sergeant at Arms out and go and arrest anyone that defies a congressional subpoena.
Wow.
Now, if you want to see whether these Republicans actually have backbone, that's the law.
Now, hold on, slow down.
They can do
slow
that.
down. So we got 45 seconds. I've never heard that before. So you're trying to tell me Kevin McCarthy, let's say Fauci defies a subpoena.
Yeah. He can be arrested by the Sergeant at Arms at the direction of Kevin McCarthy and held in detention.
Where?
Well, there are jail cells at the bottom of the Capitol building. People don't know that, but they're there.
You're blowing my mind, Kash. All right, more with Kash Patel after the break. You got my mind thinking here.
See, this is why I'm getting so excited, because wait till you see what they've admitted to and how they treated the government. I mean, I can't even believe, or how the government treated these social media companies. It shows that they are so submissive to them. It's just nuts. Okay, hold on. We're going to get, hey, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Come join the family. We're just, I mean, look at my chat. It's full of such great people, such lovely people. I love these people. Anyways, okay. Here we learn the truth. The government only told the plaintiffs, okay, get this, people. Please get this point. The government only told the plaintiffs about Flaherty and Slavitt because they knew their names had already been exposed in other emails with other departments. Their involvement directly out of the White House spanned almost the whole government. So listen to how this is worded in the plaintiff's statement here. The government has never made any comprehensive disclosure of which White House officials communicate with social media platforms about misinformation, disinformation, and censorship, or what they are saying, despite the court's order authorizing discovery on these issues 6 months ago. Remember, this judge does not put up with their crap. I'm telling you, he doesn't. Instead, the government has attempted to make narrow, plainly under-inclusive disclosures and frame them as complete. White House press secretary identified only 2 officials, Flaherty and Slavitt, both of whom had already been disclosed to plaintiffs because they were CC'd on HHS's communications with social media platforms. It's Health and Human Services. We now know that the government did not even consult with Psaki in responding to this interrogatory, despite its recent admission that it had an obligation to do so. Do you guys catch that? So they are showing, this is such a beautiful response. Praise God for the Attorney General of Missouri. Okay. But they are just saying that they didn't consult, even though they were ordered. They are outlining that, look, Judge, they have disobeyed the court at every turn. Don't let them get away with it. This is awesome. Okay. So it doesn't even scratch the surface. Other officials, okay, yeah. And they name them all. By the way, here's a big one. former White House counsel Dana Remus. People, where did we just hear that name today? I want to see if anybody in my chat catches this. I really have to, but so I just give me a pause for a sec. Does anybody know where we saw Dana Remus's name just today? What other big scandal this person is involved in? Come on, somebody's got to have it. I want to see this in the chat. Come on, it's there. I know somebody's got this. Dana Remus just came out today in another big blockbuster bunch of information. That's right. Kathleen Wolf caught it. It's the documents, okay? Not necessarily Joe's lawyer, okay? But the disclosure of the Biden docs. It's a tangled web. It's getting better, people. We're finding out more all the time, okay? This is this is getting so good. So there it is. Okay, White House partnerships manager. Okay, so they name all these other people that they believe are involved. But this is where it gets good. Now we are coming to, I'm telling you people, this has been the big build. Now they did discovery with Meta or Facebook, right? Meta discovery disclosure produced even more than what was found in the government response, meaning the government did not return all the documents. So again, they're pointing out again that the government is lying to you, Judge. You don't need to take this, okay? Or the other people weren't identified. Those people are pretty stunning, okay? The Dana Remus, Aisha Shah, Special Assistant to the President, Lauren Rosenberger, Meta handed that to the plaintiffs, not the government. And for good reason, it's unconstitutional. The disclosure of Rob Flaherty and Andy Slavitt as the members of our senior staff who communicate with social media platforms is woefully under-inclusive, as wave after wave of disclosures from other sources demonstrate, again, proving that they are lying to the court. For example, the government's document production from the HHS defendants identified several other White House officials who are or have engaged in such communications, okay? The production from Flaherty wielded even more officials the government had failed to include when responding regarding Psaki, providing vague and unresponsive information when it had information in its possession. They are showing the judge that the government is lying and roadblocking, and so far the judge hasn't put up with it. I went through some of this before, people. If you can, it was on a past live stream. But basically, this judge has really ripped a new one into the Biden White House lawyers, okay? And just last Thursday, January 5th, 2021, the government document production from Rob Flaherty in lieu of his deposition identified still yet more undisclosed White House officials, okay? The lawsuit started with a subset of topics that Missouri and Louisiana and plaintiffs thought were being censored on social media, namely Hunter Biden's laptop. Oh my gosh, I can't even say the next one, people. Here it is. Erection frog, COVID-19, and vaccines, among others. But discovery from Meta has revealed much, much more. This is where it gets wild, people. You think those were all the big issues of the day. You think, oh my gosh, you've covered it all. No, oh, there's so much more, people. In response, documents from Meta, it has been revealed that the government is censoring America's speech on climate change, gender disinformation, and abortion-related speech through other departments. The U.S. government is a propaganda machine using your tax dollars to do it. Okay, I got to pull this out. Do you guys get what I just said there? Do you guys get? See, we think, oh my gosh, it's these issues that we know about, right? So the ones that we all got censored for. Well, one of the things that happened here over at YouTube is they demonetized any content that did not support the narrative, okay, the conclusive narrative on climate change, green deals, and all this kind of stuff, right? So now we are finding out from the discovery with Facebook that the government was asking for that to be censored, along with the gender garbage that's being shoved down your throat and everything else, people, okay? Abortion-related speech, yeah, so that's being censored. All of this is through this case. So more is coming out. So you thought it was just these things, erection frog, right? And the jab and all this kind of stuff. But no, it's so much more. It's so much deeper. And that's what we're learning. This is awesome. I'll go back to the screen here so you guys can follow along. Okay. Pressuring social media platforms on other topics, including election-related speech. White House public statements raise grave concerns that such speech is likely occurring through other channels and on other topics as well, such as climate speech, gender disinformation, and abortion-related speech. So there it is. Other likely avenues, such as the Office of the White House Climate Advisor and the White House's Task Force to Address Online Harassment and Abuse. So what's happening is these other offices of the White House, okay, are doing all this other stuff. What we are about to get now in this filing is a review of the most horrific of the discoveries in Flaherty's emails, many of which I've detailed for you already. However, I'm going to pick a bunch from here because these attorneys are far more eloquent at explaining it than I. As we discussed in my last article, Flaherty was, well, gross. You guys aren't going to believe this. I'm serious, okay? Just grab a cup of coffee because it's about to get amazing, okay? He cursed at social media executives with petty and incessant demands. When those didn't work, he and Slavitt resorted to outright threats. They threatened the people at the social media, our government, sitting there on the phone using F&I, just threatening people. Okay, we saw a lot of Flaherty acting like the direct manager of social media employees, and an abusive one at that. So here we go into the plaintiff's court document here. The court should remedy the situation by ordering the immediate disclosure of the identities of such White House officials and ordering expedited responses to written discovery from them. These emails demonstrate that White House officials aggressively pressure social media platforms to censor speech that they disfavor, and they do so very effectively. Flaherty and his White House colleagues have subjected social media companies to profanity. Are you guys effing serious? And petty and incessant demands. We've gone a million rounds on this, quibbling with the wording of the tag Facebook added to a video on COVID-19 and textbook gaslighting techniques at 17, telling Facebook that its lax censorship practices were to blame for the J6 and demanding some assurances based. Actually, we are going to learn now that Kevin McCarthy is going to release the 14,000 hours of video footage that Nancy Pelosi had more to do with it than anything. Okay. And where strong language, persistent, and psychological manipulation fail, they resort to outright threats. See ID at 10, warning Facebook. We have been considering our options on what to do about Facebook's refusal to accede to all White House's censorship demands. Just circle that. We have been considering our options on what to do about Facebook's refusal to accede to all White House censorship demands. Can you believe this crap, people? This is I knew it was bad. People, I didn't know it was this bad. It's all coming out. This case, oh, glory to God for the Attorney General of Missouri and Louisiana and the other plaintiffs. This is nuts. And you can say, well, you know, what's the big thing about them asking social media? Because they're engaging. It's not the social media companies even doing the censorship. It is the government threatening them that if they don't censor you, they are going to face severe consequences. And the government wielding the power of enforcement, okay? That's why the Second Amendment is so important, people. When the government has a monopoly on force, they will run rampant because absolute power corrupts absolutely. And we're seeing that in this case. This is nuts. Let's get back to it because it's going to get even crazier. This is so beautiful. As per the filing, Flaherty gaslit social media executives, telling them their actions were responsible for J6. Okay. Here they focus on the most depraved of all actions I have seen, ensuring that jab injured were ripped from their support groups. People, think about this. People who were injured, ripped from their support groups and screaming their plight to no one, even if true, and even if it didn't violate any TOS. This is inhumane. This is your government. People who need support can't even get it through those groups because of what the government is doing. To be sure, Flaherty and his colleagues sometimes strike a cordial tone when social media companies bow to their demands, but even then, they invariably follow up with additional demands for censorship. For example, After a discussion with White House official Andrew Slavitt, Facebook promised to go beyond removing jab misinformation to reducing the virality of content discouraging jabs that does not contain actionable misinformation. And get that last part, even if it doesn't contain actionable misinformation. Do you guys realize that here I am on this platform? Do you know who runs trust and safety at YouTube, Google? Do you know who runs it? 3 former top dogs at the CIA. That's who's running it. That's why I have to go through all the things I have to go through over here, because it isn't just at Facebook. Okay. It's not just at Twitter. Okay. I continue to do what I do to try and get the news out. And I will tell you that right now, because the channel took off so fast and because we were getting so much views, and I can show you, I've got 30% click-through rates on videos that aren't going anywhere. Do you guys know that 30% click-through rates are insane, especially if you have the watch time? We are being shadow banned. That's why you sharing the content and doing all that you do becomes so important. You paying attention to not just allowing on what YouTube puts into your home feed, but actually going to your subscriptions, hunting that information out, and making sure you're getting that information, because that's how you overcome their algorithmic suppression. Okay? Y'all getting what I'm saying? Okay, I don't care if it's my videos. I don't care who you're watching, but you're going to have to search them out. Okay? I'll do the job I can do, the best I can do it. But I'm telling you, it's nuts. The videos, and I could show you on my chart. In fact, here, I'll show you something quick, just to show you how bad this is. Okay? As soon as something starts taking off, and I've never seen this before, watch this. What usually happens is you go through this curve, and then it kind of goes up the next day, and because it's news. But look at this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Here, let me pull this out for just a second. Okay, so you can see this. They start out really high, and then they just fade into oblivion. Start out high, fade into oblivion, if you can see that. Okay, that's what's going on right now on this platform, as I'm trying to get the news out to you. So you guys, I'm just telling you, you're not going to see it unless you search it. You're not going to see it unless you go directly to my channel a lot of times. It's nuts. So this is crazy. So, all right. So that does not contain actionable misinformation. Facebook is basically going above and beyond to satisfy the government, because they were already getting hit with big lawsuits here and abroad. Okay. And they don't want that. And they know if they maybe acquiesce to the government's demands, then this power of force will not come against them. This is tyrannical, people. This is often true content, Facebook replied, but it can be framed as sensational. Gosh, people, do you realize they're saying that we're going to actually reduce the virality of this content, even if it's true, but can be framed as sensational? Flaherty applauded Facebook for acceding to the White House's demands to remove these often true contents that does not violate Facebook's policy, and congratulated Facebook for recognizing that the real problem does not sit in microchips land, but instead lies in often true content that happens to contradict the White House's preferred narrative. If you're downranking sensational stuff, great, Flaherty said. Then came the additional demands. But I want to know how effective you've seen that be from a market research perspective, and then what interventions are being taken on skepticism. Do you guys see? Are you guys getting this? I wonder sometimes. This is okay. Missouri versus Biden. For those who are just joining the stream, we are learning that the government didn't just censor what you thought they were censoring, but multiple other topics, be it abortion and gender information and all of that, green energy, yada yada. Okay. And not only that, when the social media companies accede to the demands of them, this is all in court documents. This is going to be amazing. Okay. Oh gosh, people. Oh, and just remember, I'll share that video again because it's so good from the Ultra Mega Party. More with YouTube. Tell me this doesn't look like he is their direct supervisor or an abusive spouse. These are the kinds of people in the White House. All right, so this is where it gets good, people. This is what I deal with all the time. Likewise, in a follow-up email after a call with YouTube, Flaherty congratulated YouTube on its success in suppressing disfavored speech, including true speech does not clearly violate YouTube's policy, i.e. borderline content. People, if you don't understand, I got a strike taken down for 2 weeks for actually quoting a study from the NIH. I kid you not. Okay. So I'm glad to know that this is all coming out here in this. Okay. You said you reduced watch time by 70% on borderline content, which is impressive, Flaherty said. He also stated that he appreciated YouTube's unequivocal response that it is not recommending anti-jab content. Then came the demands. But we want to make sure the work extends to the broader problem. Clearly more work to be done here. I'm feeling a bit like I don't have full sense of the picture here. We speak with other platforms on a semi-regular basis. We'd love to get in this habit with you, perhaps bi-weekly. Holy crap. Are you kidding me? Do you guys see what's going on here? This is the most important court case in the land, and the revelations that we are getting out of it are absolutely shocking. Please smash that like if you would, if you're new. Okay, we're discussing the Missouri versus Biden and all the bombshells that are dropping. Okay, here they discuss how Flaherty got involved over the Twitter parody video they did want to remove. Okay, this goes on. Look, this is nuts. Okay, his email reveals a pattern where lower-level White House officials pressure social media companies to censor particular content. Okay, flagging a tweet, making it removed ASAP, and instructing Twitter to keep an eye out for tweets that fall into the same genre, and escalate the matter to Flaherty and their demands are not met. For example, and guys, do you realize that all of this stuff that Elon Musk is doing over at Twitter is now going to be admissible into this case as well? This is the most important case. Make sure you're following it. It's Missouri versus Biden. Tracy Beans on Uncover DC is doing a great job with this. I'm actually reading from her stuff. I will do what I can here. Okay. See, this is why I had to do this on a live. Do you guys get this? There is so much in here. It's just nuts. I'll probably do a shorter video just, to get more distribution for it. But this is crazy. Okay. They wanted put a label or remove a satirical video of First Lady Jill Biden that they claimed had been misleadingly doctored. Twitter promptly created an event page which alerted users that the video had been edited for comedic effect. Okay. But that wasn't enough for them. Okay. They go on. Okay. I'm going to get past this one. Facebook truly was the battered spouse in this unconstitutional relationship, bending over backward and apologizing profusely for letting a Tucker Carlson video about the jab that was 100% accurate and didn't even qualify for fact-checking go viral. But the concession was not enough for Flaherty. I guess this is a good example of your rules and practice then, he snapped. How was this post not violative? Moreover, you say you reduced and demoted. What does that mean? There's 40,000 shares on this video. How effective is that? Not for nothing, but last time we did this dance, it ended in an insurrection. Less than 2 days later, Flaherty followed up impatiently. These questions weren't rhetorical. The executive wrote back apologizing for the delay in responding and assured Flaherty and Slavitt that the video received 50% demotion for 7 days, while the queue to be fact-checked and will continue to be demoted, even though it was not ultimately they cut off there, but basically that it wasn't wrong. In reply, Flaherty emphasized once again the promotion of pro-jab messages was not enough. The White House wanted suppression of, video content that ran counter to their narrative. Sure, he said sarcastically, they're first connected to authoritative information, but then you present anti-jab account alongside at level with those pinned authoritative accounts. Exclamation point. People, this is nuts. This is not, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even add this back in. This is the nuttiest thing I've ever seen in my life, that these social media companies would just bow to these people. Okay, but don't worry, because it gets worse. Facebook attempted to placate the White House for a few weeks later, sending Flaherty and Courtney Rowe a lengthy email detailing ways in which Facebook and its partners have been using trusted messengers and personalized messaging on our platform to increase jab acceptance. Okay, Understand, Flaherty is consumed with the uptake of jabs and seemed hell-bent on removing all hesitancy. At one point in discovery, we learned that even Facebook told them that if they keep removing everything counter to the narrative, people will start to think cover-up. Independent media was feverishly reporting on all the possible issues. At one point, someone even complained we focused too much on this, but undeterred by all of the censorship, indies pushed on. They used the management analogy in their filing, even saying Flaherty micromanaged down to individual posts in their reach. Like a supervisor overseeing a problematic employee, Flaherty resorted to micromanaging Facebook's censorship process. Predictably, he focused on Facebook's demotion efforts, which I don't think we have a good handle on, and it doesn't seem like you do either. Not to sound like a broken record, but how much content is being demoted? How effective are you at mitigating reach, and how quickly? Flaherty descended to the level of specific points, pointing out that one was still up and seems to have gone pretty far, and it's gotten 365,000 shares with 4 comments. How does something like that happen? Flaherty asked incredulously. Flaherty proceeded to demand a tailored report of the top 100 contents on Facebook's platforms that he could monitor Facebook's progress. So he wants to micromanage them now. Flaherty used MSM reporting to berate social media companies' lack of censorship. This was the same circle we saw used in Russiagate by the intelligence community. Launder something fake to the media. They report it, circle back into warrant requests, etc. It's weaponized government. Oh my gosh, this is nuts. Somebody just super chatted me. I'm going to pick this up here quick. YouTube banning me, I think. My text doesn't show in chat. Open second window to confirm. Guess I pissed off the right leftists. Oh man, it's crazy. One of the things I have to do in videos now is I have to go to comments and then put newest first, because otherwise they try to censor out your comments by putting in top comments, whatever the hell that means. Okay. I'm going to put up my banner here for My Pillow again real quick. And my store as well, mypillowmystore.com. Okay. But we learned the government helped craft the terms of service for these companies. We also learned that former high-level intelligence community employees inhabit these positions. Look at this. Facebook currently employs at least 115 people in high-ranking positions that formerly worked at FBI, CIA, NSA, and DHS. Oh, now here's where it gets people. All right, smash the like really quick if you haven't, because I want to get more people to hear this, because this is maybe the best part of it all. This is God working in mysterious ways, all right? This is nuts. Flaherty notices that POTUS Instagram account slows in gaining followers, so he contacts Instagram. Instagram checks into it and tells them that it was an internal issue they can't get to, but it's fixed now. Flaherty loses it, cursing at them and demanding an answer. Are you guys effing serious? Flaherty exploded. I want an answer on what happened here, and I want it today. A few weeks later, Flaherty got his answers, apparently after months of haranguing by White House officials. Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, ramped up its censorship of hesitancy. Instagram deployed an algorithm used posting far above normal jab-related content as proxy for promoting. You guys get this? So what they did was they go apoplectic on Facebook. Facebook employs an algorithm, and because the White House is always posting jab content, of course, because they want to get everybody to get it, they get censored themselves. So due to over-enforcement on the signal, the algorithm swept up the POTUS account in its censorship push. The White House was posting so much pro-jab content, they also didn't distinguish, and the White House was censored. They were livid people. This is what you need to catch. The White House freaked out when it happened to them, but they wanted it to happen to you. This is the nuttiest. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so good. This ends them, man. I'm telling you, people, when this case sees the full light of day, when all the depositions come out, when everything, all the discovery is done, this is going to be the greatest thing we've ever seen. I mean, they went insane trying to block Psaki's deposition, and in doing so revealed that they hadn't even asked her who she was talking about when she made the statements about censorship and the pressure, something they were required to do. So this is absolutely beautiful. This continues to go on and on, people. But here, I want to give you the conclusion of this. I think I've given you so much good stuff here. Okay. And for those of you who are just jumping on the stream, you are going to want to go back and watch this from the beginning. And I'm going to share because I love watching this so much. And a lot of you have just jumped on and you're going to want to watch this because why this case is so important as they depose people. Now that we have control of Congress and McCarthy's releasing all the J6 footage and they've got all the weaponization of the FBI committees and everything, they are going to issue subpoenas, and you need to understand what they can do and what you need to call your Congress people on and make them do when people ignore these subpoenas. Watch this.
Arrested.
I'm very inspected.
And I did this during my time at Russiagate. When you have a Department of Justice that you cannot rely on to fulfill a congressional subpoena and force people who violate it, Congress actually has this thing called inherent contempt of Congress powers, which means the Speaker of the House can send the Sergeant at Arms out and go and arrest anyone that defies a congressional subpoena.
Wow.
Now, if you want to see whether these Republicans actually have backbone, that's the law.
No, hold on, slow down.
They can do
Slow
that.
down. So we got 45 seconds. I've never heard that before. So you're trying to tell me Kevin McCarthy, let's say Fauci defies a subpoena.
Yeah. He can be arrested by the Sergeant at Arms at the direction of Kevin McCarthy and held in detention.
Where?
Well, there are jail cells at the bottom of the Capitol building. People don't know that, but they're there.
You're blowing my mind, Cash. All right, more with Cash Patel after the break. You got my mind thinking here. People say they're never get arrested. We'll see. I did not know that.
We are finding out so much. And now Congress can subpoena these people and then hold them in contempt. And people, we have got to make sure these people do the right thing. We're going to have to apply the pressure to make sure that we get to the truth, the bottom of things. See, because we're not trying to censor things. We're trying to bring things to the light of day. I know this was a long stream. Okay. I know it was a long stream. Wait, Chocolate Superman is talking about hopium. Man, I ain't got no hopium here, Chocolate Superman. I got no hopium in this because we are already getting all the information in this. It's coming out because it's in the documents. It's in the court case. Okay, this is already coming out. We can get further information by issuing congressional subpoenas, and they already did it with Steve Bannon. So now the precedent has been set, okay? And we need to start really going after this. This is huge. Okay, wait. Let's see. Prediction: the judge will enjoin all defendants from communicating with the platforms at all. Then SCOTUS will use this case to inform their decision on the Texas, Florida, and censorship. Yeah, well, he's not thinking it's hopium anymore. Exactly. Okay, you got to go back and watch this stream from the beginning, people. You got to watch it from the beginning. There was so much good stuff in this. And then share this. I know it's long. It's not as shareable, but man, sit your kids down with your homeschool and show them this stream as a lesson in what the government is up to. Let this be your civics lesson. And hey, get the kids a MyPillow at mypillow.com using promo code Lumberjack so they can rest their weary head while they watch this and take it all in. You can get one of those blankets from MyPillow. Get one of those big comforters. I'm telling you, look, support the people who support you, not the people who are your enemies. Thank you so much for listening. Go to mypillow.com, promo code Lumberjack, or mystore.com. Mike's got coffee over there, or you can get some of this Revere Coffee Company. Use promo code Lumberjack there, reverecoffeecompany.com. I'm over an hour right now. I'm going to keep this under an hour and 10 minutes. But if you guys have any questions really quick or anything you want to mention, School of the World got the Giza sheets, best sheets known to man. If you guys have anything you want to add in here, I'm telling you, this is the biggest case, period, right now. It flat is, and it is so important. Okay. Is Ron DeSantis the only one we can trust? I don't know. You know, we never know who we can trust, right? They got to prove themselves. Kevin McCarthy still has to prove himself. Okay. He's doing the right things right now. Okay. But content creators need to file a class action lawsuit for loss of revenue against the platforms for shadow banning, throttling, restricting. This is the thing. Once this comes out, Sean, that's why this case is so important. Then that can happen because the discovery will already be done. We can take that information and then file a case and have real credibility. I have been screenshotting, just so you know, all this crazy nonsense going on with 30% click-through rates and not having the video expand. Okay. Again, if you get 30% click-through rates and above average watch time, that video should go nuts. And they aren't. Okay. And it all happened within the last 4 days. Okay. Yeah, I would, someone saying the level of corruption. So the special counsel, Robert, who appointed by Garland to investigate Biden, used to work for, yeah, Robert, you can't make this stuff up. No, I know. It's just, they do not want the exposure. They do not want this stuff to see the light of day. You people are why it will see the light of day. You people have to share this content. I don't take this video and clip it up if you need to, but it's, yeah, we got to win this. It's for our kids. It's for our grandkids. It's for the future of America. I love y'all. I'm going to go hit the hay, but you guys have a great night. And all my links are down in the description below. Follow me on other platforms because you never know when this one decides to do what they do. We might be seeing something taking place here because of the fact that this case is going on, that they won't be quite as nuts. Okay. I saw Antoine made a comment here. The only reason why McCarthy is doing something is because we got him on a puppet. That's right. Praise God for those people who stood strong, the 20. My word. All right. I love y'all. Peace out. Get a good night's sleep. We're going to save America. It's going to be great.